Hi, this is Jodi Smits from DASNY, and I'm going to talk about 3 aspects of a building project that can be optimized to create an exceptionally efficient building. When we design buildings, we're aiming for exceptional projects that need to be functional, efficient, in budget, but also innovative and inspiring. And the way to really achieve that is to assess the site, the building itself, and the people who engage with the building. So we'll go through those 3 topics very briefly. Focus 1, the site. Nature is so smart, she put the medicine right into the food. We need to take advantage of what Mother Nature gives us, and the only way we can do that is by assessing what's on the site, what's around the site, how the microclimate will affect the project that we're creating. If we don't, we run a risk of doing things that could be foolish for the building long term, as illustrated by the tracks in the upper right. Those tracks could not handle the heat swings. There are examples of efficiencies in buildings based on what nature's giving us without any additional cost other than the study. For example, we're putting windows into buildings anyway. So by studying the wind and the sun, we can understand what windows to select and where to place them to optimize performance. It is incredibly important to understand that there are challenges to this and achievements. Every single building firm, every single architecture firm has processes, and we need to understand lessons learned, the owner's project requirements, design performance modeling, etc. And we need to celebrate our achievements with LEED and other systems. We need to bank on our experience, and we have to at least meet code and constructability issues. The second are the systems of the building themselves. If you think good design is expensive, you should see the cost of bad design. We have only recently begun to realize that the building envelope is an energy system. By optimizing the thermal performance of that envelope and reducing thermal bleed and creating an air barrier that's complete, we can have a highly efficient, resilient building that will serve the occupants better. That also means that we need to size the electrical, mechanical, and plumbing systems appropriately for the performance of that building envelope. Some examples include using thermal systems like SIPs, structural insulated panels, that provide complete and durable thermal envelopes. Some of the work that is engaged in creating a tight building envelope means that we need to know what the owner's project requirements are and be clear about performance. We have to understand what systems the designer selects and why. And we also need to test the construction when it's put in place on the site. We need to assess performance more often than we are currently doing. The final focus is people. We don't pay quite enough attention to the people in the buildings that we're building for them. So how do we engage them? We engage them by knowing that they have an effect on the building, and we should understand typical social trends and the trends of the market. Gen Z, for example, is going to be very different than previous generations of students that are occupying residence halls, and our designs should reflect that. And there are new technologies that are coming to buildings. More and more buildings have internal bike racks, and people need access to those. Coffee shops on the first floor. Every single change can affect the performance of the building and engagement with the building users. And every building user has a different comfort range, which needs to be accommodated. A building is not a toaster, so the operations of the building must respond to the way the user interacts with it. Windows can inform building users when they should be opened and when they shouldn't, and that's a very simple example. Set points can be changed and dress codes to allow people to keep themselves comfortable. Finally, when you're talking about building users, we're talking about the building operators and the occupants. So scanning through these questions can give you some guidelines to how you can start to include those people into the design and construction of your project. As an end statement, we must remember that the intent is exceptional projects. And in order to obtain exceptional projects, we really need to lead the design process and construction process. And a leader is someone who demonstrates what's possible. Thank you.